Monday. High temperatures will stay locked into the low 50s, and we don't move much overnight. These temperatures only fall off into the upper 40s. A couple of different systems on the way will bring us some on and off rain over the next few days, but we'll dry it out just in time for Halloween. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Hey folks, you know Randy Marion is the king of price when it comes to buying a new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle. But how about king of price when it comes to the service department? Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville, Randy Marion Ford Lincoln in Statesville has you covered on tires, brakes, batteries, wipers, you name it. Any service you need on your vehicle, regardless of the make or model, come see Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville Service Department or Randy Marion Ford Lincoln Service Department today.
Looking to sell or buy in Huntersville or Lake Norman?
Hi, I'm Jeff Sny, owner and managing broker of Blue Oak Realty Group. Here's the truth. Your needs don't pause for the market. Whether you need more space, less space, or just the right fit, I'll help you create a smart strategy that makes sense for your family and your goals. With over a decade of experience right here in Lake Norman, I know this community, and I treat every client's goals like my own.
Call Jeff today or visit BlueOakRealtyGroup.com. Outstanding service, smart moves. That's Blue Oak Realty Group.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Thrive Here Live in the Town of Huntersville. I am Commissioner Edwin Quarles, and we have a very special guest with us today. We have our new Chief of Police, Mr. Brian Vaughan. Congratulations, Brian.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. This is awesome. I'm glad to be in here with you this morning.
Well, I'm glad to be here with you as well. One thing we're going to do, first we're going to give awareness to this month being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, as well as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So I want to give my heart goes out to those people who have suffered and lost a loved one with breast cancer or been a victim of domestic violence. About a week ago, I was at a revival service, and the pastor preached on "You Are a Survivor." So for those who have survived from breast cancer as well as domestic violence, I want you to know that you are a survivor. But again, I want to say congratulations again for being our new Chief of Police.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate the support that the town has always given me. I'm not new to Huntersville. I've worked here for a long time, 25 years. So yeah, it's just been great to get the support that I've gotten from the citizens, from the staff, from management, the board. It's been a great transition into this new role for me.
Well, since you've been in this role, have you talked to Chief Graham?
I have. He's a little harder to get a hold of these days, expectedly so. But I have. We've been trying to go to breakfast still occasionally and hanging out.
Speaking of breakfast, I had lunch with Chief Wayne Sumter a couple of months ago.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So I go way back with the Huntersville Police Department. But I did communicate with Chief Graham today.
Oh, okay.
And I told him that you told me that you were going to have on your serious face today.
Yeah. Yes.
And he said that's impossible.
Yeah, that's probably true too. And that throwback to Wayne Sumter, he was the one that hired me. Wayne Sumter hired me, and I saw him last week also, so that was a good throwback.
How were you, 15 then?
16.
16, okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to see if I can keep you serious.
I will be serious.
But I'm very observant. I see you have your nice badge on your left side of your chest. You have 2 ink pens with you, and you have Brian Vaughan on the right side. I always wanted to be a police officer. Well, I want to be a detective today.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. I have my badge on.
Who gave you that badge?
Chief Graham.
Oh, okay.
He also gave me this cup, too.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
The new chief haven't given me anything.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an interesting look you have today. Detective Quarles?
Absolutely. And it's Halloween month and all that good stuff, so I want to make sure that you see your new detective.
Yes.
So you have the new chief of police. You haven't hired me yet, but I want to make sure that I'm on board.
Yeah. I see it.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Nice shiny pen. My badge, too.
That's nice.
Yeah. And then I don't have the things up here.
Yeah, you got to work your way up to get any of the collar brass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what do I got to do?
Something.
Bring some donuts?
Yes.
Oh, speaking of donuts, Chief Detoli.
What a transition.
Brought you a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And that gift was a box of donuts.
He did. He thought that would be the hilarious thing to bring on my first day as chief of police. He did manage to bring my favorite donuts, though, which is, can I advertise? No, I'm not advertising. Can I shout out my favorite donut spot?
Well, you can shout that out because in my notes, I was going to ask you, what was the first donut that you grab out of that box?
Oh, I'm always a strawberry icing kind of guy.
Okay.
Jelly Donuts. Shout out Jelly Donuts, Huntersville Square.
Now, how was your weekend?
It was good. It was real busy. We had the Halloween and Huntersville event last night.
Okay.
I guess if we're going to keep rolling with shout outs, let me shout out the Huntersville Parks and Rec Department too, because that event last night was bang up. It was an amazing event. I was able to attend as a family and not as a professional. And so that was nice to be able to get out and my family enjoy such a great event that they put on every year.
Speaking of professional, I understand Elliot won an award.
Yeah, my son Elliot, he's 13. He ended up winning the best homemade costume. He's been working on that for a couple months, and he was thrilled. He made himself a stormtrooper costume and pulled out the win there at the last minute.
That is too cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of Elliot and all that good stuff, when you were a little boy, when I was a little boy, I always wanted to be an Army man. I didn't know much about the Air Force. I said, I want to be in the Army when I grew up. Ended up going to the Air Force when I got smarter. But when you were a little boy, did you ever dream of being a police officer?
No, I'm actually a first generation police officer. I have family that was military. And while I was in college, I was actually going to school for something completely unrelated to this. And I worked part-time while I was in school at UNC Charlotte and befriended some Charlotte police officers. And when I was realizing that public servant is where I wanted to land and not on the track that I was on, I said, let's give policing a shot. And so that was in 1998 is when I attended rookie school, and have just built my career over the last 27 years.
Oh, too cool. Now, as you build your career, when you were when you graduated from the academy, did you dream of becoming a police chief?
I didn't. It really wasn't. Really wasn't on the radar until the last probably less than 10 years, I guess. I really enjoyed the aspect of serving the community. I also enjoyed doing some of the hands-on work on the field, on the front lines. I spent most of my career in our traffic investigation unit, traffic safety section, and really enjoyed that. It really helped me grow. It helped my networking across other departments and relationships that I've built over the years. And it wasn't until the last 8 or 9 years, I guess, that I had some people really start to invest in me and told me things about seeing the potential that I had and really helped me start focusing on that. And, some time ago, I went back to school to finish my degree and start working towards some of these promotions that have happened over the last 8 or 9 years, and have just been blessed with this ability to come into this role and given this opportunity to thrive in the police department.
Well, speaking of blessed, I know you to be a man of faith, and I want to say that I truly value your friendship. You are hilarious. You're a man who will share scripture. Your pastor even liked you. He said some good things about you.
Yeah, I'm glad. I need to make sure I slide him an extra 20 in the tithing bowl this weekend.
When I see him at the coffee place, I'm going to remind him. I'm going to say, did Chief Vaughan give you that 20?
Extra.
And matter of fact, I'm going to send him this link. But what we're going to do, with breaking the ice, I'm going to go ahead and take a break.
Okay.
We have to pay some bills.
Yep.
And we're going to come right back. So those in listening land, don't go nowhere. We'll be right back with Thrive Here Live in the town of Huntersville.
Sit tight. We'll be back with more after this on WSIC 105.9, 100.7, 1400 AM. Local starts here.
Well, it's something we've needed for a while. Finally getting some rain, although most of it will be likely stay chilly and damp as we move through our Monday. High High temperatures will stay locked into the low 50s, and we don't move much overnight. These temperatures only fall off into the upper 40s. A couple of different systems on the way will bring us some on and off rain over the next few days, but we'll dry it out just in time for Halloween. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Quality Car Care is your local Toyota specialist and a licensed NC inspection station. Plus, find a huge selection of quality pre-owned cars at QualityCarCareStatesville.com or call 704-871-2535.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. The 500 Club in Statesville is having their Thirsty Thursdays tournament on October 30th, beginning at 4:30 p.m. Call 704-872-9990 for more information on tee times, putting lessons with their golf pros, and league tournaments. Let's do the time warp again. On Halloween night, WSIC is bringing the Rocky Horror Picture Show to the Charles Mack Citizen Center in Mooresville. This cult classic movie will be shown in the Knox Auditorium along with a shadowcast. The VIP experience begins at 6 p.m. with showtime at 8. Come dress up and be prepared to sing and dance along. It's just a jump to the left. Tickets are on sale right now at WSICnews.com. Saturday is the 23rd annual Statesville Pumpkin Festival. Downtown will be packed with mouth-watering food, live music, arts and crafts, a kids zone, pumpkin smashing, painting, and a classic car cruise-in. The festival runs from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Go to StatesvillePumpkinFest.com for more details. The dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway presents the World Short Track Championships on Friday and Saturday. And then the World of Outlaws World Finals are November 5th through the 8th. Click on CharlotteMotorspeedway.com for more information.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Saturdays and Sundays now through November 23rd. There's music, comedy, circus entertainments. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last. Huzzah!
Stay up to date and find out about local events, job opportunities, real estate information, and more. Visit liveworkplaylkn.com and sign up for the weekly newsletter. That's liveworkplaylkn.com.
Ready to take control of your weight with real medical support? At Renew Specialty Group, we offer semaglutide, tirzepatide, and now retatrutide with complimentary consultations, personalized plans, and real results. Visit RenewHealthWellnessNC.com. Your transformation starts here.
Let's go leaf peeping. Crunching leaves, mountain trails, and roomy suites await at Meadowbrook Inn in Blowing Rock. Steps away from quaint shops and kid-friendly fun. Plus, you'll just love our indoor pool and hot breakfast. Book your family getaway now at meadowbrook-inn.com.
Looking to sell or buy in Huntersville or Lake Norman?
Hi, I'm Jeff Snide, owner and managing broker of Blue Oak Realty Group. Here's the truth. Your needs don't pause for the market. Whether you need more space, less space, or just the right fit, I'll help you create a smart strategy that makes sense for your family and your goals. With over a decade of experience right here in Lake Norman, I know this community, and I treat every client's goals like my own.
Call Jeff today or visit BlueOakRealtyGroup.com. Outstanding service, smart moves. That's Blue Oak Realty Group.
All right, we're back with more from the Town of Huntersville on WSIC 105.9, 100.7, 1400 AM. Local starts here.
Welcome back. We're right here live in the town of Huntersville. I am Commissioner Edwin Quarles, and we have a special guest with us today. We have our new Huntersville Chief of Police, Mr. Brian Vaughan. I am so happy to have him here because when we were leaving the first segment, I was sharing with him that I appreciate him, the friendship that we have, and I wanted people out in the listening land to get to know our new chief more than just being the serious police chief, but this man have a great humor. He's got a heart for serving. He's a man of God. So again, I just love Mr. Brian Vaughan. And again, I want to give a shout out and awareness to those who may have suffered from breast cancer or lost someone from breast cancer, or someone may have been a victim of domestic violence and or been a victim or lost a life because of domestic violence. So this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month as well as Domestic Violence Month, and I want to say my heart goes out to each of you. Before we were heading out, you were telling us a little bit, Chief, about yourself. Give us a little bit more details about who Chief Brian Vaughan is. I mean, I know you're not originally from Huntersville, so fill us in.
Yeah, I born and raised on the West Coast, which is how I became a huge Dodgers fan. Moved here when I was a teenager, early teenager, 12, 13 years old. So I usually just tell people that Charlotte is home to me now, but have lived in Huntersville for the last 25 years. My wife and son are here. We've grown up and raised a family here, and spend every minute that we can volunteering, serving the community. My wife is a nurse, so we kind of just have a heart to serve others in our household. Awesome. And something that we're imparting and making sure that our son understands the importance of serving others and carrying that on. And again, I've been at this police department for 90% of my police career up until this point.
Well, we're blessed to have you. I'm so thankful too that we hire from within. You know the department. I think the morale is high, and you know the ins and outs. So it's pretty good when you can just move the next man in. And I think always, even in corporate, a good supervisor or a good manager is one who works himself or herself out of a position. You want to make sure that the next person can fill in with no extra training, nothing to change when that next person move out. Understand you're going to make some changes yourself, but to bring someone in such as yourself, it was a plus for our town. Speaking of Dodgers, have you been watching the World Series?
Maybe. Not to brag, but I am obsessed with baseball, and maybe that's part of the old age coming in that I sit down and can watch baseball games for hours and hours. But yeah, huge Dodgers fan. Of course, I've been watching.
Now, did you play growing up?
I did.
Okay.
I did until early high school, and then everybody else kept getting bigger, and I stayed the same size, and so it wasn't able to continue. And then my son, of course, I naturally wanted him to play baseball, and so when they're young, you can force them to do the things that you want them to do, and then as they get a mind of their own, you can't do that anymore, and so he has pivoted, and he's a swimmer, and he goes and does that, and enjoys the swimming piece of being athletic now.
That is too cool.
It is.
Yeah. I played baseball in high school. I played pitcher, first base, and right field. I was pretty good.
I don't believe it.
I'm serious, man. It was something else, man. Wow. I was a left-handed pitcher with that natural break on the fastball.
Okay.
Oh, man. It was like a smoke bomb.
Okay.
Can't hit what you can't see.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Hey, man, I'm trying to tell you something. Oh, you know what? I also, I follow you. I'm not a stalker, but I do follow you.
Okay.
You travel and do a lot of vacations.
Like you try. I didn't know if you meant like I need to watch my rearview mirror.
No,
kind of
man.
Stalking.
I should have said that word stalking because, again, I'm going to hear it later. But anyway, I see that you travel and do a lot of vacation.
We do. I think we live our lives of that. You just never know. You never know when your last day on this earth is going to be. And so to make sure that our son, we don't want to live with the what ifs, and we want to live with the we did it. We did these things. So yeah, that's important to me. It's important to me for my staff too at the police department that they are taking their time off that they need and decompress, and that's a time that you can get away from the craziness of police work and do some self-care, and encourage that for everybody that's around me that I can have influence on.
That is too cool. I want to pivot here. Chief, your first couple of months have been tough on you, but I'm going to keep this positive. So instead of talking about what's taking place on the heartbreaking side, what has been the most memorable experience in your life since you've been a police officer?
Wow. I think the biggest takeaway from everything over the last 25 years here is the impact that you can have on the community. And sometimes sometimes as a police officer, you don't ever really get to see what impact you have. I really, it's easy to think about what's happened recently with the loss of a couple of our officers, which is unfathomable. But has been a time for us to continue to grow and move forward as an agency. And, even bring even more of a sense of closeness with each other. And so it's kind of a twofold. It's nice to get the letters, it's nice to get the emails, it's nice to get the things thanking us for the things that we've done. But the piece of this over the last month and a half or so has just kind of been us to be able to show each other in the police department internally, how to care for each other. And it's been such a great takeaway from all of this is just to value life. You mentioned the vacation thing a minute ago. I don't ever want to live with a regret. And so seeing us take care of each other the way we've taken care of each other the last 2 months has been very important to me and has been a big takeaway.
I was very impressed to see the show of support at the last two services for the fallen officers. It was phenomenal to see. I watched you and make sure that you were okay. I kept giving you thumbs up, and you're a very strong man. So I know it's got to be tough. And in the past 10 years, pay has been an issue or concern or haven't been the greatest for the police officers. And I thank each of them for their service. Other than you wanting to make sure that people are taken care of, are there other reasons that you serve? Because I see the passion in you. I see the care in you. Are there other reasons you serve?
I just have always wanted to serve those that can't serve themselves. Like I just, that sounds cliche, but sometimes there's people that can't help themselves, and so it's nice to step in and kind of be in that role. I like giving the hand up. I like going and extending a hand and saying, hey, like, what can we do? What can we do to help you? What can we do to make this better? But I don't just do that outside. I do that inside too. Yeah. I do that, inside of our agency is like, hey, what can we do to bring things along, and what can we do to take care of each other? But I think once you're kind of have a servant's heart and you realize you have that, that's the piece that you thrive on the most is serving others and making sure they're taken care of. My family and I are volunteering tomorrow night at the East Huntersville trunk or treat. Okay. That's going on over in Pottstown tomorrow night. Yes. And that's important to me to be out there in the community because I live here too. Yes. It's important to me that I have this view on public safety that it takes all of us to make our community safe. It's not just the police department. It's the community being cognizant of what's going on around them. We have to trust that the community is taking care of each other and looking out for one another. And this is just one of those ways of being a part of the community that we live in and serve in.
I'm impressed with the police department because back in the day, you never wanted to see a police officer drive up behind you.
Some still don't.
Yeah. But the officers in my days of communicating with them are so jovial. They're just so easy to work with, easy to get along with. They're just friendly people. I can go to some of the coffee shops. I see a police officer. Hey, Commissioner Quarles, we want to laugh and joke and talk. I could be anywhere. And you guys go out here, and like my church is also having a trunk or treat, and you guys volunteer to help out there. So it's just amazing to see what our police officers in our town do for our citizens, other than want to arrest someone and lock them up. So
yeah, I think I think as a whole, arresting is just a piece of what we do, but I think the bigger portion of what we do is making sure that we're there to serve the community and show them that we're there for them to support them and that they support us, and that's important to us.
Well, we're going to talk about some protection after this one, but we're going to go and take another quick break, get these bills paid, and we'll be right back with Thrive Here Live in the town of Huntersville.
You live here, you work here, you thrive here. It's Thrive Here Live, sponsored in part by Blue Oak Realty Group. Back with more, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, it's something we've needed for a while. Finally getting some rain, although most of it will be likely stay chilly and damp as we move through our Monday. High temperatures will stay locked into the low 50s, and we don't move much overnight. These temperatures only fall off into the upper 40s. A couple of different systems on the way will bring us some on and off rain over the next few days, but we'll dry it out just in time for Halloween. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts.
The Southern Christmas Show, November 13th through 23rd at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Save on tickets at southernchristmasshow.com, courtesy of Kraft Body Scan.
The Southern Christmas Show.
It feels good to be needed, and Angels and Sparrows needs you. Our full play fundraiser is underway, and your gift brings hope home to Lake Norman. One meal, one child, one family, changed by your gift. Give today at angelsandsparrows.org. Hope starts with you.
We're Possum. Fetch, heal, love at Dry Pond Animal Hospital and Pet Resort. From vaccines to vacays, we've got tails wagging and humans smiling. Grooming? You bet. Boarding? Comfy as your couch. Visit drypondanimal.com.
Hi, this is Bob McIntosh with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Since 1997, we have been committed to providing our clients with competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Looking to sell or buy in Huntersville or Lake Norman?
Hi, I'm Jeff Snyder, owner and managing broker of Blue Oak Realty Group. Here's the truth. Your needs don't pause for the market. Whether you need more space, less space, or just the right fit, I'll help you create a smart strategy that makes sense for your family and your goals. With over a decade of experience right here in Lake Norman, I know this community, and I treat every client's goals like my own.
Call Jeff today or visit BlueOakRealtyGroup.com. Outstanding service, smart moves. That's Blue Oak Realty Group. Don't miss a thing. Download the WSIC News app today. WSIC. Local starts here.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Some good news if you're worried about price hikes. Many companies say they're going to try not to hike prices in the coming months, even as their own costs mount and profit margins come under pressure. National Association of Business Economics says 65% of firms expect to keep prices flat in the next 3 months. Some positive themes on Wall Street today, including signs of progress in U.S.-China trade talks, also a possible interest rate cut from the Federal Reserve. Along with gains in stocks today, though, a drop in gold prices, gold sliding below $4,000 an ounce. Hormel Foods recalling frozen ready-to-eat chicken products because of possible contamination with pieces of metal. Almost 5 million pounds nationwide. The chicken distributed to HRI Commercial Food Service over about a half-year period. And the strike continues at Boeing. Factory workers in St. Louis rejecting a new 5-year contract that would have boosted pay by 24%. The walkout has disrupted Boeing's main military manufacturing hub. Denise Pellegrini, Bloomberg Radio.
Friendly reminder, don't brake when you see the lake.
WSIC. Local starts here.
All right, we're back with more from the Town of Huntersville on WSIC 105.9, 100.7, 1400 AM. Local starts here.
Welcome back. We're Thrive Here live in the Town of Huntersville. I am Commissioner Edwin Quarles, and my special guest here in the studio this morning is our new Chief of Police, Mr. Vaughan, a very good friend of mine. So again, earlier we were talking about Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about the domestic violence or the
victim response
team we have in Huntersville.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, we've really been, as an agency, we've been trying to identify jobs that don't necessarily need the police, or jobs that could supplement what our police do on a daily basis. And one of those things was a victims advocacy or a victim response team that is fully staffed now. And, this is a unit that was very important to us because, a lot of times the police are called into a volatile domestic situation, and we come in and put a Band-Aid on it, offer a temporary fix, but that doesn't really get to the root causes of why we're there. So that's where our victim response team steps in, and they do an amazing job. They're there for the follow-ups. They're there for the help in securing restraining orders. They're there for help securing involuntary commitment orders. So these advocates really step into that role of caring for the victims and helping them walk through the process of court of what all the things are going to look like, beyond just that initial call for service. And then we have a domestic violence investigator also that is specifically assigned for domestic violence. And so where you might see an increase in our stats in domestic violence cases, some of that we attribute to the fact that we have this victim's response team that's really empowering the victim to step forward and to come forward and seek the help that they need that they may not have sought out before, or that we may not have captured because we were called out to a call and we answered it and we did what we needed to do that particular moment and get the help the person needed. But it's that follow-up. It's the going back in the future and saying, what do you need today? And that's not always a job for the police.
Right.
That's a job that a professional can come into that's trained in that scenario and come in and offer the assistance that they need. And these are some of the things that we do as an agency over the last 4 or 5 years. As nationally, we've seen a deficit in people applying to be police officers. It's not just Huntersville, but in several places around the U.S., it's becoming more and more difficult to get police. And so 4 or 5 years ago, we really started to pivot and say, what can we do? Where can we hire somebody that can do a job that we don't need a police officer?
Okay.
And this is one of those examples of those follow-ups of going and helping the people, in their time of need.
Yeah, I'm going to come to staffing in a second about recruiting. But you're talking about jobs that you do not need a police officer. The last budget that our board adopted, we authorized civilian crash investigators. Would you share with us the benefits of having civilian crash investigators?
Yeah, this is another thing that another way to address staffing is not every crash in North Carolina needs a police officer to respond. Wilmington Police Department has been doing this for 15 plus years, and the state 3 years ago, the state finally made it state law that we could hire civilians to investigate property damage crashes, and so 75%, maybe closer to 80% of our traffic crashes in Huntersville were property damage only crashes, parking lot crashes, fender benders, nobody's hurt, there aren't other crimes involved, that we're able to now staff a civilian crash unit that can go out and take these crashes to free up our police officers to do the more crime prevention things that they do, including our traffic unit. I would say that traffic is probably our number one thing that we have in Huntersville.
Yeah.
You could probably attest to that. There's lots of traffic, and so one of the ways that we prevent traffic crashes is through enforcement. And so having these civilian crash investigators is going to free up the time for our traffic unit and some of our other police officers to do more active traffic enforcement and education pieces of this scenario.
Excellent. Now, is there a plan for recruiting and retaining sworn officers currently?
Yeah, I think this year, one of the first things I decided to just jump in with both feet is come in and request us to have a higher starting salary so we could be more competitive with those around us, because our applicant pool has dwindled. And so we're vying for the same candidates that Cornelius is vying for, that Mooresville is vying for, that Concord's vying for. The pool is much smaller. And so that's one of the pieces that we use to attract new and lateral candidates to our agency. And our recruiting officer, since we implemented that increase in starting salary and then the across-the-board raise for all the existing staff, our recruiting has skyrocketed in the last 6 weeks or so. It feels like it's been 10 years since I have taken over this job already, but it's been a lot these first 2 months. And so the recruiter, Sergeant Jason Kauser's seen a significant increase in applications and also an increase in our lateral pool that's coming to us right now. And one of the things that I stressed, and it's no secret, and I discussed it back then when I was selling this, is that that's just the start.
Yes.
That's just piece number one of this whole ship that's moving forward, and an important piece, but it's just a piece, and it's a starting piece or foundation for where we're going.
Well, I'm going to give a shout out to our town manager, Mr. Anthony Roberts, and our current board. You say that recruiting is now skyrocketed. We know that the across the board pay increase for all of the sworn officers was a plus. It was much needed. We knew that it was going to help with recruiting, but again, because of your leadership, we listened, we heard, and we acted upon that. And I believe that we continue to do the right things and put public safety first, not to play any political games with our first responders. It's amazing. As far as recruiting, our current board is the first to deliver on affordable housing for our police, fire, teachers, and other employees of our town. Are you using the affordable housing initiative that we have as part of a recruiting tool?
I think that what happens when we're in the recruiting piece is we're talking to the recruits about kind of a whole compensation thing. We give them that ability exists. I think you guys heard last week at the board meeting that there was at least one Huntersville first responder that's taken advantage of the affordable housing piece of this. And yes, that's where the pay becomes very important because we want our officers to be able to live in the town that they serve in. That makes for a better community and police relationship. And so as we continue to move forward, that's going to be a big piece of this puzzle of, where can the police officers go and live that they can also raise a family and start a family here because that's important. The family piece of it is important and important for them to feel tied to the community.
Yeah, when people talk about taxes, well, I believe this board has found the formula of keeping taxes low. We have the lowest personal property tax in the state as far as population. But when we can keep our police officers in town, that's less fuel we use in the vehicles. It's so many different things that would benefit us as a whole. But one cool thing, Chief, is since 2024, crime has been down in Huntersville 17.5%. And I have this chart right here. So those
I saw that thing sitting over there
really
in the
cool.
corner over
this
there.
This right here is proof in the pudding.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'll say, some of the stats that ended up, even if we saw an increase in a place, sometimes that's again attributed to, our victim response team, encouraging victims to come forward in some of these cases. You'll see overall that, we saw a significant decrease in total part 1 crimes from 23 to 24. And even over a 5-year average, we've seen a decrease in that crime. And that's attributed to a couple of different things. One, it goes back to my philosophy is that it's not just the police that are responsible for the crime in town, and catching the bad guys, that we need people when they, the cliche, see something, say something, then, that's important to us that people contact us. One of the things that we fight with as an agency is people will see crimes occurring and they won't call us.
Yeah.
Maybe they post about the crimes they're seeing on social media. They post about that they saw a crime on social media, and then we never hear it, never see it, never know it. And so it's important for people to realize, hey, don't rely on that somebody else is going to call instead of you. Take the responsibility and pick up the phone and call 911. It's much more effective than, we don't generate calls for service and we don't monitor our direct messages on our social media. We can't generate calls. And we, a couple days will go by and we'll see, hey, somebody's tried to report a suspicious person on our private inbox on social media. And we can't generate calls from that. People need to pick up the phone and call 911. No matter if they think it's an emergency or not. Let us determine that. Let the 911 dispatcher determine whether it's an emergency or not, and they'll triage it appropriately. And so I think some of the numbers that you're seeing is just indicative of the work that our officers are putting in on a daily basis and the fact that they are out there and proactively preventing these crimes from happening and making use of the equipment that they have.
Well, let them know that we're very impressed, and those are some very impressive numbers to be down so much. But what we're going to do here again, we're going to take one more short break and come back into our last segment. But again, I appreciate all this good stuff, great conversation. People learned quite a bit from you and I. So what we're going to do is take a break and come right back with your Thrive here live in the town of Huntersville.
100.7, 1400 AM. Local starts here.
Well, it's something we've needed for a while. Finally getting some rain, although most of it will be likely stay chilly and damp as we move through our Monday. High temperatures will stay locked into the low 50s, and we don't move much overnight. As temperatures only fall off into the upper 40s. A couple of different systems on the way will bring us some on and off rain over the next few days, but we'll dry it out just in time for Halloween. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Looking to sell or buy in Huntersville or Lake Norman?
Hi, I'm Jeff Sny, owner and managing broker of Blue Oak Realty Group. Here's the truth. Your needs don't pause for the market. Whether you need more space, less space, or just the right fit, I'll help you create a smart strategy that makes sense for your family and your goals. With over a decade of experience right here in Lake Norman, I know this community, and I treat every client's goals like my own.
Call Jeff today or visit BlueOakRealtyGroup.com. Outstanding service, smart moves. That's Blue Oak Realty Group.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. The 500 Club in Statesville is having their Thirsty Thursdays tournament on October 30th, beginning at 4:30 p.m. Call 704-872-9990 for more information on tee times, putting lessons with their golf pros, and league tournaments. Let's do the time warp again. On Halloween night, WSIC is bringing the Rocky Horror Picture Show to the Charles Mack Citizen Center in Mooresville. This cult classic movie will be shown in the Knox Auditorium along with a shadowcast. The VIP experience begins at 6 p.m. with showtime at 8. Come dress up and be prepared to sing and dance along. It's just a jump to the left. Tickets are on sale right now at WSICnews.com. Saturday is the 23rd annual Statesville Pumpkin Festival. Downtown will be packed with mouth-watering food, live music, arts and crafts, a kids zone, pumpkin smashing, painting, and a classic car cruise-in. The festival runs from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Go to StatesvillePumpkinFest.com for more details. The dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway presents the World Short Track Championships on Friday and Saturday. And then the World of Outlaws World Finals are November 5th through the 8th. Click on CharlotteMotorSpeedway.com for more information.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays now through November 23rd. Non-stop shop at Giant Crafts Market. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
Stay up to date and find out about local events, job opportunities, real estate information, and more. Visit liveworkplaylkn.com and sign up for the weekly newsletter. That's liveworkplaylkn.com.
All right, we're back with more from the Town of Huntersville on WSIC 105.9, 100.7, 1400 AM. Local starts here.
Welcome back, listener land, to Thrive Here Live in the Town of Huntersville. I'm Commissioner Edwin Quarles, and I have a very good friend and special guest here today. He's our new Chief of Police, Mr. Chief Brian Vaughan. Chief, right before break, we were talking about the crime rate being down 17.5%, and you were saying if you see something, say something. That was an excellent segment, and I was wondering if you wanted to elaborate a little bit more on maybe apps that's out there, or you see something, say something.
Yeah.
Just roll with it.
Yeah, I'd love to. The see something, say something principle is just, I mean, it's pretty clear. Like you see something, you say something, and calling 911 or, our non-emergency number, you can call either one of those things to report crimes, regardless of how serious you believe it to be or not believe it to be. That's really the way that we generate our work. That's our point of contact. That's the place where those phone calls triage, whether it's an emergency or not. Those phone calls are what log and help drive our statistics. Mm-hmm. And so, we make it a habit of policing from social media. We don't have people. We don't have people monitoring social media 24/7.
Yeah.
With that said, I have a full-time communications person that crushes it of getting the right information out and who we're looking for and why we're looking for them. And so I really find it's important for people to kind of divert themselves. Sure, we have fun on there too. We have fun on our social media to show that we're people also.
Yeah.
And but that's where you're going to get the most accurate information. And so if we feel like there's something life-threatening going on, maybe we don't get it out right that second, but within minutes, we're able to, if it's something that we feel is a community concern, we'll get that information out as quickly as possible. It kind of gives me an opportunity. I've seen apps out there. I think one is called the Citizen app. I'm not knocking the app. It's probably got its place somewhere that it's functional. And but the piece that I can't attest to is its accuracy. I believe some of what it's doing is based off of calls for service being dispatched, and somehow it's monitoring our dispatch center. I don't know if I would be completely uneducated in saying I don't know if AI plays a role in it or not. I have no idea. It doesn't matter. But what's important is sure, this thing might give out some information. The problem is most of the time we find that the resolution or whatever actually is happening that drove that initial thing to make the post isn't actually what happened.
Right.
And so it's really difficult for us to, again, this is an app that we don't use as a police department. I don't endorse it. We don't tell people to go download this app because we don't know how driven it is, what data it's receiving. And so it doesn't give you the outcome. It doesn't give you, 4th of July, you might go on there and see, oh my gosh, there were shots fired at Brookdale Village.
Yeah, I saw that.
Guess what? It's people shooting fireworks. It's 4th of July. And so where that app comes into play is that it doesn't give the outcomes. And so, while we can't go in and give an outcome or give every single call for service we go on, it would be people probably would be bored with how much stuff goes on a daily basis. And so we really choose to post the things that are important to us to solve as far as community safety is concerned, or property protection is concerned. Because if we were posting all day, every day about everything that we do, people would be tired of it, and it would almost be like a cry wolf situation. They'd say, "Oh my gosh, what's the Huntersville Police posting about again today? I don't want to hear about this anymore."
Correct.
But I do want to see that you're looking for this person that's involved with this crime.
Excellent.
Yeah, and so sure, some of these apps have a place. Some of the social media has a place and a time, but if you want real data and real information, come to the police department for it. Come to our website for it, and you'll see where that actual information's coming from. And we post these crime stats that you shared today. We post these on a quarterly basis. We post our calls on a monthly basis, show how many calls for service we've answered. And so this stuff is, I'm all about giving the people, we can only show what is reported to us, and we can only attest to what's reported to us, and we can't attest to the things that aren't reported to us.
Yes. You guys, you say have fun on social media, and I think that should be a place where we should be able to have fun, regardless of your position. Me as an elected official, you as a police officer, and the police department. But you guys have really been attacked because you don't report everything, but everything that's not reported sometimes is false information.
Yeah, I would say, again, once we get to a call and we're able to flesh out everything that's going on and take the reports that we need to take. I mean, clearly we take the calls because you see them right here on your 5-year crime stats. That we clearly take the calls and take the reports. And if somebody reports a crime to us, we're doing the report. It's just that we don't monitor these apps. We don't monitor social media. We don't have the time to do those things. And so it's just important that when we feel like there is a community threat, or there's some sort of ongoing threat to the community, that we will get the correct information out as quickly as possible. That's another piece to this, is that we as a society are used to, and myself included, I want instant gratification. I want to know what is going on right this second. And so there are times where it wouldn't be a good look for the police department to get out partial information. It's a better look for us to get out all the information and complete information in order to not stoke any kind of embers or stoke anything that either can turn out to be false. It's just important for us to be able to vet all of that and do our investigation before we get the information out.
Burkdale is a place of concern too. Is there anything that the Huntersville Police Department doing to keep the people safe? Are you guys meeting with the management there? Or are you patrolling the area a little bit more? What's going on in Burkdale?
Yeah, so obviously Burkdale is a hub for Huntersville. It's a big area both for people living and playing and shopping, and we recognize that. I like I said, I've worked here 25 years. I started working here before Burkdale Village was even Burkdale Village, and so our police department has always had that partnership with that shopping center. It's changed hands a handful of times over the years, and every management company that comes in it typically does a handoff, and they introduce us to the next management company, and so we're continuing to build on that relationship. The most recent example of this partnership is that we've installed license plate readers in Burkdale Village on some of the city streets, and Burkdale Village has paid for their own cameras for the shopping center as well, and so that's an example of the partnership that we have with them, and so they have their own non-sworn security guards up there, but our staff, our leadership in some of our patrol districts meet on the regular with individual stores, with shopping center on a whole. The shopping center also hires some of our officers to do security on Fridays and Saturday nights to supplement their security company. And that's at their cost, that the officers are going up there and doing that. And so we recognize that. We clearly know that it's a hub and it's an attraction for people to come and visit. But there's also another 60 square miles of Huntersville that we're responsible for right now also. And so we do recognize that. And again, that's the see something, say something, calling 911 to help drive the calls for service. So we actually can staff it and understand this is where staffing is needed. But know, that we absolutely recognize that Burkdale is an important piece of our community and how it looks and how it feels to hang out there. We want people to feel safe when they're at Burkdale. But I want people to feel safe when they're at Target. I want people to feel safe everywhere. And so it is important to us, and it definitely is getting the attention that it needs. And then I think as you'll see, as our staffing continues to increase, you'll see that partnership increase.
Do you have a 5-year vision of the Huntersville Police Department? And what I'm getting at is having a police precinct in east, west, north, and south part of Huntersville. Yeah,
I don't. I think that there will be a time for that. Yeah. I don't know that 5 years is long enough away. It just depends on how much we grow. My intention, I think when I leave here in the next 4 or 5 years, I think what I leave behind is a department that probably has, 20% more staffing than what it has now.
Awesome.
Just to kind of tip my cards a little bit. I think as an agency that we need to continue to grow. And I think as now, obviously it would be irresponsible of me to come and keep asking for spots if I don't have the ones that I have filled. But we're going to continue working that way. And I think growing the agency. And I think that the district offices are going to look like something for probably the next chief. I think the next chief that I will help, prepare and get ready, because we want it to continue to be an internal promotion. That's important to me. That's important as a police officer going into a department that they see that they can grow and grow into that role. And it's important for the town to have somebody that comes from the inside. And so I think that's going to be the next chief's problem after me.
Well, I'm pretty sure you will groom he or she properly, and they'll be ready to rock and roll. But what I want to do, Chief, is again, I am so happy that I was able to get you in here today as a new chief of police, just to share with our listener audience about the Huntersville Police Department. They will see. They know that their chief of police has humor. So again, I want to thank you so much. I want to again give a shout out and awareness to the breast cancer awareness as well as domestic violence awareness. Please give the officers a salute for me, because again, I thank them for all that they do in keeping us safe. So again, thank you all out there in listening land for being with us here at Thrive here live in the town of Huntersville with our new chief of police, Mr. Brian Vaughan. Ooh-wee.
Serving you better than ever before.